So, Thrasymachus has been silenced and is literally blushing in the corner. But the conversation is actually just getting started. Socrates' young friends, Glaucon and Adeimantus, aren't satisfied. They feel like Socrates just charmed Thrasymachus like a snake instead of actually proving that justice is better than injustice. They want to know if justice is something good for its own sake, or if we only act right because we are afraid of getting caught. To test Socrates, Glaucon tests the chilling mate of the ring of geese. He tells a story about a humble shepherd who finds a magical gold ring inside a hollow brazen horse after an earthquake. He discovers that if he turns the collet of the ring inward, he becomes invisible. Now, what does this just shepherd do? He doesn't stay just, he uses the ring to sneak into the palace, seduce the queen, kill the king, and take over the whole kingdom. Glaucon argues that if you had two of these rings, one for a just man and one for an unjust man, both will end up doing the exact same thing. He claims no one is just willingly. We only do the right thing because of the force of law and the fear of what others will think. Then, his brother Adeimantus jumps in with a really cynical point about how we are raised. He says parents and poets don't actually teach kids to love justice for its own sake. They teach them to love the reputation of being just because it leads to good jobs, a good marriage, and the favor of the gods. He points out that if you can just seem just while being secretly unjust, you get the best of both worlds, the reward of goodness and the profit of badness. They challenge Socrates to strip away all the rewards and prove that a just man being tortured is still happier than an unjust man ruling the world. Socrates admits this is a massive challenge and says they need very good eyes to see justice clearly. He proposes a new method. Instead of looking at one person, let's look at a whole state. He argues that justice might be easier to see on a large scale first, like reading large letters before trying to read small ones. He starts by imagining a very simple city born out of necessity. Everyone has one job they are naturally good at. Some farm, some build, some make shoes. They live a healthy, peaceful life, eating barley meal and wearing garland. But Glaucon isn't impressed. He calls this a city of pigs. He wants the ordinary conveniences of life: sofas, perfumes, sweets, and gold. Socrates agrees to look at this luxurious state, or states at fever heat, because that is where we will actually see how justice and injustice starts to grow. The problem is, once a city wants luxury, it needs more land, which leads to war. And because Socrates believes everyone should only do one job, the city now needs a professional class of warrior, which he calls the guardians. In our next episode, we will look at how to train these guardians so they protect the city like well-bred dogs instead of turning into savage tyrants. I remain your host, Osho Abiodun. See you in episode 3.